think you're being reminded to have some fun, Libra, but let's see. So we have the Nine of Cups. What is your heart's desire? I feel like we've had this conversation before, but as your underlying energy this week, it's very much about what is your heart's desire. Now, really think about that. It's really easy to say, well, yeah, I want this, or I've wanted this for so long and I'm not getting it, and all of that. Has there been a reshuffling or a change in what it is that you want? We can get so used to, you know, a dream. You might have had that dream for 5 years, 10 years, but we change in that time. So if you change, your dreams change, right? But I will say this. I kind of feel, especially because you look at the cards around it, we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Something's changing there. And we have the Ten of Wands here. So it's almost as if the dream or the heart's desire is what has become the burden. Why is that? I always feel like your heart's desire, you know, going for something, that's our inspiration. That's our motivation. I mean, I always say this, people that, I said this once on, I think it was the subreddit, the motivational one. I think it's motivation or something it's called. And people are constantly needing motivation to kind of stay going for something, going for their goals. And I say, well, you know, if you need that much motivation to kind of keep going for what it is that you apparently dream for or wish for, then you don't need motivation. You need a new dream. And kind of that came to mind as I was looking at this. Now, that's not to say that something that you want, it's not asking you to give it up. I kind of feel if it's become a burden, it's not your heart's desire anymore. It isn't. Think about it. How could it be? If it's become a burden that you're carrying, and the Ten of Wands says it's time to put it down, like you've carried it for long enough. So there might be this kind of sense of you're putting down a burden and coming up with a new dream, a new wish. Could be the tweaking of an old dream. It doesn't have to be that you're just suddenly left with nothing. Because this is a very hopeful energy for me. You know, if we kind of think, I deserve this, this is my heart's desire, that's uplifting. I mean, look at her. She doesn't look kind of overburdened. She looks like, oh my God, look at all the cups that I have. And look at all the stuff that's in them. I have all this and it's mine. Whereas he has this kind of, for some of you, your dream happened and a wish gone wrong. It's like, you know, when there's evil genies, when you ask for something and it comes out not the way you expected it. That's kind of what happened. But you've been putting in so much effort. I mean, we have temperance here. You've been patient. That's the thing with temperance, right? It's a foundation. Last week, last month, last year. This is something that there's a lot of balancing out, you know, that temperance is about moderation in all things, bringing in some peace, bringing in some harmony, trying to make trying to make something that seems impossible possible. Temperance talks about getting your house in order, like, you know, making sure all areas of your life are getting equal attention so you can kind of see what the lay of the land looks like. That's how I always see temperance. I always see temperance as great manifesting energy. I know that's not the kind of common thing with it. It's always seen as divine timing. People see this as a timeout. You know, go sit on the naughty step until you're ready to get what you want. And I don't see that with temperance. I see this as being prepared for it. A lot of times, just because we want, because we want something, it doesn't mean that we're ready to receive it. And it's not anyone else that dictates that. We decide that ourselves. But it kind of feels like you have been readying things. So why the burden, right? Why the burden? For some of you, it might just be that this is what you've been going through. You've been carrying this deep burden. And then the Nine of Cups is a hopeful energy, because it's like all of a sudden you kind of see, kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. You kind of see like, this is my heart's desire. This is what I'm headed towards. This is what I'm going to make happen. This is what I deserve. It's knowing that. Which that's not an easy thing to do. So good on you if you've been doing that. But you have more energy. Kind of look at this. You have the Wheel of Fortune coming in the present. This opportunity is coming in. You know, the wheel is always turning. It's always turning. And it's kind of really cliche to say, but I always say this with the Wheel of Fortune. If the good times don't last, then why would the bad times last, right? So if you've been going for a bad time, I see this is a change of fortune, change of season. New opportunities are coming in. And that's amazing with the Nine of Cups sat above it. There may be an opportunity that's coming in, and it's something that you've always wished for, or that is in line with your heart's desire. You've been patient. This is what you've wanted. But then why this? Why do we have this in the middle? Why do we have this sense of burden? Why do we have this, I'm doing it all alone. I'm the only one that's in this. I'm the one that's putting in all the work. There's a couple of messages. I mean, the energies that are coming up here, they can be read in a number of ways. For some of you, we have 2 9s here and we have a 10. So this is completion of a cycle. And even the Wheel of Fortune says that, that wheel's turning. This can be, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune can talk about a situation that comes back around again, but we do it differently. We do it differently. We have a new dream now. We have a new heart's desire now, right? But with these cards here, especially with the 9 of Wands in the future, there's this sense for some of you, I'm just going to say it straight out. There is a new opportunity coming in, something that you truly want. But you're still laboring under this. You're still holding on, trying to make something work. That became a burden a long time ago. And I don't think that's news to you. Whoever that resonates with, that shouldn't be news to you, because that's coming up in the middle there. For others of you, you are going to, I mean, the defensiveness here, I think, is against this. You don't want this burden again. You know that whatever happened before, you're not doing that again. Because think about it, you've gone back a step, right? The 10 is here at the heart. That's the focus. You've gone back a step, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes we have to take a step back to kind of just get a look at what's happening. To understand, what happened here. I put in so much time and effort to get things to work out the way I wanted to. Why did it become a burden, right? I mean, this is something that you have put so much effort into. Look at, there's ivy growing up the stick. I mean, how long has this guy been stood here? But I would say for anyone that, the message here, when you get these kind of opportunities are just doorways that get presented to us. We must walk through them. We must walk through them. I'm not telling you to give up situations that you're in, whether that's relationships, whether that's work. I'm not asking you to do that. There's nothing here. I mean, it's implied that you're completing cycles, but even the completions of cycles, they're not endings. That energy or that phase is shifting into something new. The Wheel of Fortune says that. But it's about doing things differently. For whatever reason, it feels like things became very serious, very heavy. And there's a lighter energy that's coming in because we have the Knight of Wands as your advice. I mean, he's the fun time knight. He's in it for the experience. He's in it for the adventure. When it stops being fun, he moves on. And it feels like whatever it was that you've been doing, it stopped being fun a long time ago. But look at the cards that bookend your reading. We have the 9 of Cups here, the wish card, what your heart's desire is. And now we have the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, he's always on a new adventure. He's in it for the experience. He wants to feel good. He wants it to be fun. He wants to enjoy what he's doing. The last post that I put on Facebook, I was talking about my Knight of Wands attitude. That's how I live my life right now. I want to get enjoyment out of the moment. I'm not worried about where I'm going or where I've been and stuff. It's just, where am I right now and am I enjoying this? Are you enjoying carrying that burden? Are you enjoying kind of this defensive energy, or just how much effort you've put into something? And I kind of feel like even if it's something that you want to complete, if you're like, Jay, no, I've put so much time and effort into this. I know it can work. My energy's kind of flagging, right? Fine. Then the Knight of Wands is giving you advice saying that, you know what? Tap back into that sense of fun, the passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm. That's what he does. That's what kind of is needed here. You have 2 major arcana cards that come up, right? Temperance is about, it is the kind of universe putting, like saying, sort your stuff out, get your house in order before you kind of move on. And you've done that. That's where the opportunities are coming in now. That wheel's turning. But are you going to take advantage of those opportunities? And it could be a change within the situation, of course. But sometimes we can get so used to doing things the way we've always done them that we kind of get stuck in this, that, we've always seen it as a burden, so it is a burden. We lost our sense of fun. We're just doing our sense of duty now because we've done it for so long. It's like, why the hell would I give it up now? Because it's not making you happy, that's why. This is about finding the happiness in it, finding the passion within it. Right, let's see what your oracle cards are saying. It's not a done situation. I just want to be clear on that, Libra. That's not what this is saying. But it's about looking at it with fresh eyes, going back to what your dream was, your heart's desire, going back to that sense of fun. And, you might say, well, I'm in this situation. It sucks. There's no fun to be found here. There's no enjoyment here. I'm kind of stuck in it. But no, because if you think about it, this guy willingly carries the burden. This guy's not tired. No one's forcing him to stand there. Remember why you got into it in the first place. And I always think that with the 10 of wands anyway. I mean, the 10s, reduce them down. That becomes a 1. That's the ace. Think back to when this cycle started. What got you into it? What was that excitement? And the Knight of Wands seems to be because he has the 1, right? He's come back to remind you that you started this cycle because of X, Y, and Z, whatever that was for you. Leo got that too. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Yes. Yes, you are. But I think you know that. That's why you're carrying this. For some of you, it's that acknowledgement that, look, other people would have given up on this a long time ago. I didn't. I've stuck in there. But the energy, I don't know how to explain it. It's shifting. It's changing. There's something new coming in here. And you have a choice. You can go back. You can carry on doing this. Or we can inject this kind of Knight of Wands energy into it. A new adventure. Something that excites you. Gets your passion going. Yep, deep knowing. That's like the High Priestess card. That's following your intuition. You know this. You have a gut feeling about this. That's why I'm not saying to you put down your burden or end this or do whatever. Although the 10 of Wands does talk about that. That cycle's completed. But is this going to become a loop where you put it down, go back to doing this, then pick up that burden again? Like that could so easily happen. It doesn't have to, because we have fresh energy coming in. And trust your intuition on this. That's what deep knowing says. You have a deep knowing. Trust that gut feeling. But where does that gut feeling come from? It comes from what your dream is. It comes from your wish. And if that wish, if that dream is, what you truly want, what your heart truly desires, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Then, yeah, you have all the strength in the world to get this done. But you must have that sense of adventure, that sense of fun. Like, this has to be going somewhere. You can't just be stuck in this loop, right? Some of you might even be thinking about travel. All right, this is what it says. Dearest you, a rigid tree branch breaks under strong winds, yet flexible seaweed survives powerful ocean swells. Right now, we gently remind you that being flexible is a good choice when faced with life's challenges. That's this, right? Surrender your fixed ideas to Spirit, who knows what is in your highest good and can deliver to you what you need in the appropriate form. In this moment, rather than fighting or being too sure of your way, working out, be a little looser and allow for another outcome. Compromise can be the best way forward if you are to learn new ways of doing and seeing. Stay aware, curious and teachable. Take life on life's terms. Your purpose may push you in a direction not on your map. Let it. Be so flexible that no storm can uproot you. In the end, you will still be rooted in the world, in abundance, and you will indeed experience the beauty that is yours. We love you so much. And think about it. This is kind of very rigid energy here. He isn't. That's why he's seen as unreliable. But why? Because he lets his passions guide him. He lets that excitement. If it's not fun, why am I doing this, right? And it's kind of like, it might seem like a strange message to say, but that's the Wheel of Fortune brings in the opportunities for us to get what we want. But you're asked to be guided by your wish and by that sense of adventure. Does it feel good? If it doesn't feel good, then that's not your true heart's desire, is it?